Hi, my name is Anne-Marie Chantal, and today I wanted to share with you the magic of colors. So, how many of you have been in a situation with a client, maybe prospect, maybe business partner, where you're just feeling that you wish you could speak the same language as them, right? How many of you would love to know you can be congruent with somebody else like that? Like you build that like and trust so fast that people can really look up to you. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, that's what I'm going to share with you today. I call it the magic of colors. Why do I call it the magic of colors? Well, it's very simple because everybody inside themselves have different ways of communicate, and I broke it down in four different aspects of colors. Now, this is not me that did it on my own, and I didn't just came up with it. This is like tons of research. If you Google like magic of colors, or if you look into anything when it comes to languages, like the color personality or anything like that, you will find tons of information on that. So I just wanted to share with you some of this because every single one of us have different personality. And when we speak to one to another with those type of colors, or personality, we tend to understand each other a lot better. So if you're building a business, if you are, in search of new clients or prospect, or you're building a team or whatever you're doing, or you just want to have better relationship with people, this is the training that you've been looking for. So I'm very excited. My name is Anne-Marie Chantal, and if you have any question, I posted my number down below here, so you can actually send me a text, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to help you. Find me on Facebook or whatever works for you. So let's get started. The magic of color. Well, let's start with the yellows. So the yellows are the most friendliest people on earth. They're really open. They love relationship. They speak on a slower pace. They don't like conflict. They like to have stabilities and security. They're some of the best listener, the best nurturer, supporter out there, and they really like to go with the flow, which is pretty cool. Now, another good thing about the yellows is that they're followers, and it's 35% of our population. So knowing that and those facts, when you're talking to someone, if they're yellow. Now, I'm just going to give you an overview, and then I'll break it down so how to inspire them and what to do, what not to do, and things like that. The next one is the blues. So the blues, they play the guitar, they play the blues. No, just kidding. The blue are very fast-paced. They love to talk. They love relationship. They have broad concept, like there's no details in what they're doing. They're very creative. And one of the things about the blues, they love to have fun. So fun. I can tell you today with this training, after this training, you'll be so mesmerized. You'll have so much fun listening to this. I'm a blue. So I always have fun in my life. And the blues are some of the best promoters out there. Right? And they are 15% of our population. So if you're like me, I'm a blue, and you talk to another person and they're not blue because it's only 15% of population, you might want to do a couple things to get yourself to their language. Make sense? Say yes if that makes sense to you. Awesome. And then we have the greens. The greens love the facts. They're very they love the literature, documents. They're gonna take a look at all the websites to make sure that they have the right information. The greens are very on time, very punctual. They're some of the smartest people out there. They do the daily planning. They're very analytical. They stick to the task, but they are slower paced. Right? It takes time with the blue. When you deal with the blue, it takes a lot more time. But once you know it, you know that they will have found the best knowledge out there. They're the most intelligent person around, and they cover 35% of our population. And then we have the red. Well, the red are the like get down to business type of people. They stick to business, and then, you know, if you're not with them and doing things for business with them, get out the way. They love challenges, and there's this saying, you know, fluff, fluff, slam. Like they're go, go, go. Let's get it done. That's all they want to do. They're some of the most confident people out there, just super confident, and sympathical people on planet. They don't have time to be sorry for anybody around there. They're all about business. They're often they're often leading the most of the population. Okay. And they're 15% of our population. So far, so good. So let's break it down into one color at a time so you understand the personality. Now, as I go through this, you will find that you have a little bit of all of them. But there's always one that's dominant and a second one that's pretty strong with you, and then the rest are kind of behind, right? We all have the 4 personality, the 4 color personality, but there's always those ones. And at the end, I'm gonna actually challenge you to write down, who do you know in your relationship, in your circle of friends, or maybe your business, whatever you're doing, that, you know, find 2 to 5 people that are yellow, that are blue, that are green, that are red. Okay? That way it will help you realize who's around you, why are they acting the way they're acting, and why are you acting the way you're acting, and how can you be congruent all together. Sounds good? So I'm excited because here are the yellows. The yellows, well, how do you identify? How do you find out who's yellow? Well, they're the most, you know, family oriented. They love to be around friends. Very spiritual type of people, very loyal, volunteering. They're always there to help. They're always doing things to make sure that they put people together, to give back to communities. You know, they're really a nurturing type of people. Okay, but so how can you relate? How can you build a rapport with a yellow? Now, if you're a yellow, it's very easy because you'll speak your language, you'll do your thing, and you will attract another yellow. But if you're not a yellow, you're gonna have to do some things and pay attention to the people that are. So how you do that? Well, number one, you need to slow down your pace. You know, you need to put some emotion into what you're doing. They want to make sure you're real. The more real you are in front of a yellow, the more you will build that rapport, right? You want to speak softly. You want to build that relationship. It's all about being together. It's all about creating things, you know. See how I just changed my tonality right now, you know, yellow, soft, and slow down. And I have a lot of friends that are yellow. I love yellow people because they're always doing something to create things together and helping communities and people. So they're pretty amazing that way. But how do you motivate those yellows? How do you inspire them? Well, let them help you. You know, you could put like a community together to create a cause or a volunteering base, you know, do some social event. Yellows love to help that way, right? But the don'ts, those are like, you don't want to do this to a yellow because you will lose all credibility. Number one, you can't push a yellow. It has to come within themselves. They're very in tune within their spirit. They're going to meditate about it. They're going to sleep over it, you know, things like that. Don't push them with anything ever. You also you don't want to challenge their belief, right? And there's no competition. So if you're in an area in your life where, I don't know, maybe it's your corporate or your business or they're your clients, and you want to have a competition with a yellow, instead of getting them to compete, you're better off to ask them for help, to do something with you, like to do it together to help other people. If they know that there's a cause at the end, they will do whatever it takes to help you, but not in a competition way. Sounds good? So those are the yellow for us. Now the blues, how do you identify a blue? Very simple. They love attention. So give them attention. They're loud. they're outgoing, they hate rules, they talk all the time, they love instant gratification. You want to, identify a blue, they will be in front of a room, they will do some breakdancing maybe, or they'll do something crazy, or they'll be presenter. They want to get that gratification. They're in front of people. They're high energy. They have the most energy that most people think even exists. Unlimited energy, that I always say. They're not very organized people. So that's another way to identify them. They usually wear really bright colors on their clothes. They're never alone. And they don't really have the best discipline out there either. Okay, so that's how you identify them. Now, how would you relate and build rapport with them? Well, compliment them. Now, I'm going to take a thing here. I'm going to teach you something. Because when you compliment someone, it has to be authentic. Of course, it has to be real. But don't compliment people on their clothes or what they're wearing or anything like that. I mean, there's a time and place for that if you're the husband or wife, maybe. But I can assure you one thing is that if you say to, somebody could have a really cool dress and you're like, oh my God, I really love your dress. It's cool. Where did you took it? That's one thing. But when you wow, this is a very nice dress, what goes in their head is like, oh, is it really? Does it make me look fat? Or it's crazy what goes in our head. Mostly us women, we create stories that don't even exist. So when you compliment someone, anybody, if you compliment a yellow, compliment them on their personality, on who they are, not their clothes. Okay? Sounds good? Awesome. You want to relate with their lifestyle. So if it's somebody that travels a lot, oh my God, I love how you're always traveling. I travel a lot too. For myself, I'm a mountain biker. I'm a businesswoman, right? Somebody who comes to me oh my God, I was listening to your training and I really would love to learn more from you and things like that. They have my attention. They have the rapport right away. If it's a mountain biker, oh my God, I saw that you mountain bike. I mountain bike too. Rapport's done. Why? Because it's my lifestyle. That's what I do, right? And I'm blue. Love to have fun. Absolutely. You want to create an event, perhaps, or you want to do something, make sure the blue knows it's going to be fun. Okay? Another thing is that they love to meet socialists. They love to be around people. So create, if you're having a barbecue, what to say to a blue, oh my God, I'm having tons of people coming over. It's going to be so much fun. Come over, bring a dish or anything like that. A blue's there. Okay? And then you want to speak with high energy. See how I went up high again? And then the yellow, speak with low pace. Take the time, what can we do within inside? A blue, hey, how's it going? It's been a long time. What have you been up to? Woo! High energy. You want to meet a blue's energy because they're really high, right? They have unlimited. So how do you motivate and inspire a blue? You want to recognize them. So if you have anybody that works for you or in your team or a client, you want to really recognize them for what they're doing, and that will really help them to do more. Okay? You want to create fun events. You want to create events, maybe you can award them and put them in that aspect. Just have some fun event with the blue, and make sure that you tell everyone that the blue's there and now it's going to be super fun. Then you're golden. It's going to totally inspire them. Blues, oh, this is funny. They love to take pictures. They take pictures, everything. They take selfies. They put video together. They make sure their face is on that video. I'm a blue, I know. But yeah, they want to do that. So that's how you inspire them. You're like, hey, you can come to a blue and say, hey, let's take some pictures. Let's create this video. Let's do this together. Totally will do it. But what don't you want to do with a blue? The don't is you don't want to start explaining all the facts behind it. They're not detailed oriented. Right? There's no rules. So if you start telling them that those are going to be the rules and this is how it's going to go and you just lost them because it's no longer fun. Right? And you don't want to be the authority. Now, you might be the authority, but you don't want them to know you're the authority. You want to put them as an authority. Okay? In a competition setting, the blue will not necessarily be the top one, but it will be in the top. Okay, it might not be the number one, but it'll be on the top of the sheet or whatever you're doing. Pretty amazing, right? And then we have the green. I love the greens. How do you identify them is they're really process oriented. They know it's not going to be overnight. They're willing to put the work in. They will find the details. They're very, very detail oriented. They don't let their emotion come in, right? A blue will let their emotion come in, but not a green. So it's very hard to see a green's emotion because they're not going to project that, because they're very logical, very analytical. They go by the book. They're slower. They'll take the time. Sometime, a green, let's say you're selling something, it will take sometime weeks before they decide to get onto it and buy it or whatever you're doing with that within your aspect of life. They're less excitable. You're not going to find a green jumping up and down, right? And very analytical. They're punctual. Don't be late with a green. Be on time. Very, very punctual that way. And they're skeptical. They will do the research. They will make sure they find everything. If you make a mistake with a green, make sure you back it up with the fact. Okay, it happened. They will understand it. But if you make a mistake and you didn't back it up, like, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, here's the fact, they will go find it and you lost all credibility for yourself. Okay, how do you relate? How do you build rapport with the green? Well, you talk numbers. You talk facts. You show them the details. It will take you longer. You take the time to do it. You want to use a third party. So maybe it's going to be a website or something, not that you created, but something that's out there for them to see it. It could be a phone call with somebody. It could be, it doesn't matter. It could be a website. It could be those facts and details where they can find it and they can do the research. That's why it takes longer. You want to compliment them as well, okay? You want to be congruent. Absolutely. What motivate and inspire a green? Well, show them the long term. If you're going to sell them something, or you're showing them a business, or you want them to part with what you're doing, you want to show them not just what's going to happen now, but what's going to happen in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. By you buying this, or by you joining my team, or by us hiring you, this is where we're going. Like the vision, you want to sell them the vision of the long term. Give them a hypothetical things, right? Compare, contrast, like you want to make sure this is where we were, this is where we're going, or this is what this company did, but because of what they did and our knowledge, we decided to do this, and this is like, you can compare things. Don't bring your competition down, right? But you can compare things in a very congruent way. Give them tasks. Green love to do things. They love to be part of it, but sometimes they'll just wait for those tasks to be given. So give them those tasks. Show content, be realistic. All these things is really what will motivate and inspire green. The don'ts, don't cut them off. They know what they're doing. Remember, they're one of the smartest people on earth. So don't cut them off. And don't be a blue. Now, this is crazy because my spouse is green, I'm a blue, and I totally get it. Like when I even put that training together, I was like, oh my God, we're so different in so many ways. But because we understand each other's language, we can be congruent together. I'm not a detail-oriented person and he is. So sometimes if I need to have the details for a client of mine, I know where to turn around and give him a task, that kind of thing. So you can really work well, but a green is not a blue and a blue is not a green. And then we have the red. Well, the red, how do you identify them is they're sharp. They're confident. They're some of the very, very confident people. They usually will have a flashy car, they'll have red, black, silver. Like often you'll see them driving a BMW or an Audi, a Mercedes, like whatever car that they feel is more flashy. Porsche, obviously, like the high end, absolutely. They like to do things straight to business. No BS around, straight to business. That's how you know it's them. They're very self-motivated. They're really, really leader type of people. What motivates a red person is money. So they're gonna talk money, they're gonna show money, they're gonna they make often a red personality will make big money, or they'll be really athletic, because they're self-motivated. So they will do things that most people cannot put together. They trust themselves. Their confidence is so high. Sometimes it's scary. They love bling, and sometimes they could be a little arrogant. They don't mean to. That's just who they are, right? So how do you? Oh yeah, and they speak about themselves. It's all about them. It's I all the time. So how do you relate, and how do you build rapport? Maybe you're not a red. Right? So you're going to build rapport by keeping score, by showing them, by putting them in front of those people, right? You're going to talk money. You just want to, show them. If it's you and you've done big accomplishment in your life, show it to them. If it's not you, put them with somebody who has, put that credibility, talk money, talk big money. How much it can do if you haven't done and you're on your way to doing. That vision of how much can be done is huge. Be strong with them. You want to be very confident within yourself. Okay, you want to compliment them on who they are. They love compliment of who they are, not their clothes or what they're wearing. Remember, it's a big one here. Take the time to listen to green. They love to talk. And you want to have that posture, right? When I say be strong, is have that posture. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. Like, have that confidence within you when you talk to a red person. What motivates and inspires them? Well, build their ego, right? They're really ego-driven. They love contests. So remember I shared earlier, the blue, they will be on part of the top people. The red, they're not going to be part of the top people. They're going to be number one. They're not going to want to be number two. If they get number two, like, they failed, right? So put a contest and they will be number one. So that's pretty cool. That's how you motivate them. They love to be recognized. They love to know that people know that they're number one, right? So the recognition is a huge one for them. How do you inspire and motivate them? They're really, the fear of loss for them is huge. So you can bring that up. Like, if you don't get it now, maybe somebody else will get it and you'll lose out of it. Or, you want to bring up some challenge to them. Now, what don't you want to do with a red? You don't want to show weakness. You don't want to attack the ego, right? You don't want to waste their time. And you don't want to be in control. Oops. So yeah, because if you're in control, then they're not in control, and they're all about their ego. They're all about being the number one and all that thing. So that's how you build and talk to a red. So quick challenge to you. First of all, I hope that you saw value in what I just shared today. I hope that let me ask you, who are you? What are you? What's your most dominant color? What color represents who you are? And then I'd love to hear from you. Like, share with me. Find me on Facebook and tell me, like, oh my God, just listen to your YouTube video and I am totally a yellow. I'm totally green. And, tell me. I'd love to hear what you got out of it, what you learned. And most than not, write down 2 to 5 people that you know around your circle from each color. So example, I'm blue. I know I'm blue. I share with you my spouse is green. So under green, when I wrote my note, I put his name. Who else do you know that's blue? Who else do you know that's yellow? Who else do you know that's green or red? Write 2 people that you know that are that way. So I hope you got value of it. I'm looking forward to getting to know you more. Send me a message. Let's build some fun. Let's, I don't know. That's what I had for you. I hope you got value. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and have a fantastic day. Bye.